You're with Julian on the Brown Note and how to survive modern elections. This is my gift to you. The modern world has been famed for anxiety, the dread we all feel, the helplessness by being overburdened by information, making it all worse. And as someone who had a nervous breakdown through chronic unmanageable anxiety and was hospitalised about 5 years ago, anything I can do to remove unnecessary anxiety from my life is something that I focus on a lot. And I am somebody that used to be completely connected with the political news cycle. And it's not healthy. We know that the world is in a really bad place in multiple directions at once. So anything you can do to make that better without actually impacting or switching off is a boon. If you watch modern elections, and I would focus mainly on the Australian one coming up next year and the Trump election in America this year, the newspapers and TV networks will tell you that things are they're always on a knife edge, and that things are changing daily. And oh no, this has happened. Oh no, this has happened. And algorithms work that way. One of my friends yesterday asked me, Kamala Harris, are you still standing by Kamala Harris winning? All I'm seeing in my YouTube feed is about how things are going badly for her. And that's because if you click on a story about how it's going badly for Kamala Harris on Facebook or YouTube, that's what you're getting flooded with. That's how the algorithms work. And then there's the polling. The polling will tell you that things are on the knife edge and that they change every day. And then the elections happen and they're far less represented by what we've heard for the last year in the media. In Australia, all these knife-edge elections have actually been quite clear, and they haven't gone anywhere near to supporting the polling or the media reporting of those elections. And the reason is, if you've got a newspaper or a TV network that's covering politics, you cannot say one party is got 52% of the vote and the other's got 48% of the vote and it's static for a whole year. Because people will tune in for you saying, actually it's gone down 1%. Imagine if every day you sat there and said it's 52%, and today it's 52%. People start turning off. So you say, it's gone down 1%, and people start tuning in. They're selling change. They're selling continual change and intrigue. And it's the same for polling companies. If you're a polling company and you say that the electorate are 52% for one and 48% for the other for an entire year, people will stop paying you for your services. It's analogous but not the same as the rating agencies around the global financial crisis, changing from being a representation of what's right and good to being a sellable commodity. And that's the same with polling. And it's all bullshit. So here's a way out. What I do with elections now is I weigh everything. And you can check my videos from a couple of months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, on the Australian election and on the American election. I weigh what's happened, what's happening, and what's likely to happen. And I gave, I think in the one where I said Kamala Harris has won the election, something like up to nearly 100 reasons. And those are static reasons. They're not, other than major scandals, those reasons aren't changing. And it's the same with the Australian election that's going to come up next year. I went through the reasons why the Liberal Party have been losing recently, and those haven't changed. So I make up my mind based on the evidence I've got at that point, and I'll say, Anthony Albanese is going to win the Australian election next year, Kamala Harris is going to win. Now, I've been getting it right for 8 years now, since the Trump election, scarily enough, the first one. 8 years, I've got it right. Which is way more than the newspapers and the polling have got it right. By miles. And I have saved myself the anxiety of being a part of that daily news cycle and polling cycle. I don't read anything about elections at all. I'll read, like, every now and again I'll read a story, but I am not in the loop at all. Now, you might say, what if I'm wrong? If I'm wrong, I win anyway. If I'm wrong, I couldn't have done anything about it. If I'm wrong, I would have still gone through hell for the next 3 months up, for the last 3 months up until the election of Trump, or for the next year in Australia. And the result would have been the same. So I win either way. I can't do anything about these things. I can have my opinion and offer my opinion like I do on this channel and on the radio. But being involved in that continual fabrication of change and intrigue and scandal and shifting sands that isn't even real destroys you. So don't do it. Weigh up the pros and the cons and why somebody is likely to win or lose, and make your own decision. And even if you're wrong, you've still not spent all of that anxiety fretting